Television news used to be so simple. All you had to do was remember who you worked for.
I'm Quincy Howe of ABC News.
50 years later, it's a lot more complicated. So here now are the top 10 rules for covering the news. Number 10, dress conservatively. This means a proper jacket,
11, 10, 5,
freshly pressed trousers,
I just realized I have my pants on backwards. These are the pockets. You can put your hand in it.
and matching shoes.
You get dressed in the dark, you try not to wake up the family, and sometimes you slip up.
What do you think will have happened by then?
Number 9, make sure your interview subjects speak at least a little English.
Today is 25 years. I took part
If they
in
don't,
the
keep
launch
your composure.
of the first artificial satellite, Sputnik.
Number 8, avoid working with animals.
They're very intelligent. They're very social. They can actually recognize themselves.
Well, they are very good. During commercials, I sit on Diane's shoulder, too.
But you can see, Charlie, the animal probably...
Number 7, keep it clean.
Vanna White doll. There we go. See? There you go. Whoops. Sorry.
Number 6, always expect the unexpected.
This is what would happen.
Number 5, think safety first.
Oh, you got a train coming. There's a train coming. There's a train coming.
Number 4, remember that reporting from the field is harder than it looks.
I'll be back with the rest.
Number 3, know the names in the news.
And General John Shaliskavili. Can't we find somebody named Smith?
Number 2, always be yourself. And the number 1 rule of television news, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, remember, the camera is on.
This is Peter Jennings, ABC News, Cairo. 112, eh? Do you want to do another what are you doing?
We are Multimedia Production.
Mic check and open mic. Ready, camera 1. Ready, 2, take 2.
We are live on the internet.
Scott Mitchell's the starting quarterback as of now.
We're at the big events.
Yes, and they have been very, very excited.
We are high impact graphics. We have the experience.
On MSNBC, and that relationship continues to flourish.
It's an amazing line of them, but I mean, at this point...
The demonstrators at Tiananmen taunted the soldiers.
The Americans occupy 3 positions protecting Beirut's air.
We knew it was important for our economy.
Webcasting, media streaming, multi-camera, single camera, in the studio, on location. We deliver quality productions.
Gee, that Chuck Heston's such a smart guy. Why didn't
we are TV on the web.
And here we go. Somebody started off at $500,000. $1,500,000, we have a $1,500,000.
Yeah, thank you. Bye, Johnny.
Thanks, Bob.
$1, $1, $1. Do I hear $1? And how do I know it? Oh, I heard that holler now. $2, $2.
35, 35, and we're down 35, 35 now. Bid down 75, 175, 2, 102 down, we're now 2. And 175, I'm bidding now 2, and bid 2, and again 2 down, we're now 175, 85. And 175,000 on her. Draft here to the 325, we're going to get 50, 50 here. 325 right in the front row. Thank you.
I was a farm boy, and all the boys were telling me about what great jobs they had. Of course, they always kidded me about not liking to work, so I was asking them, hadn't one of them passed up something, and he said, yes, he knew just a job for me, and he said, Mr. Hawk, this is a gentleman who used to run the sale, said that he would give a young boy $5 just to try to auctioneer because he was getting older and his voice was failing.
It's a front row orchestra seat to a show where the plot unfolds daily.
Right now they're right on top of this snow. It looks like about, I'd say, a platoon and a half moving up the street, ma'am. That's where the last round hit.
The Marines call them men. They are very young men.
Great. Peace. Hand salute.
A month ago, all 165 men in Charlie Company would have turned out for this promotion ceremony. But it's dusk now, and the fighting in the mountains is picking up. It always does in the evening.
Both, yeah. A lot more responsibility now, huh? Yes, sir. That stays on there, huh?
There is a tradition in a corps long on tradition for officers above the rank of those promoted to pin the stripes on, so they'll stick. And at sunset, so far, just another day in Lebanon.
Terrazina Gabriele, Terrazina Samuele, Terrazina.
For the Jews living in Rome, the Holocaust began on October 16, 1943. More than 1,200 men, women, and children were captured on that day by German troops. During the following 2 years, nearly 6,000 other Jews were captured and deported. But remarkably, 30,000 Jews, close to 80% of the Jewish population in Italy at that time, managed to evade the Germans and their Italian fascist partners thanks to the help they received from many thousands of fellow Italians.
The night of June 2nd gave way to the dawn of June 3rd. Exhausted soldiers and exhausted demonstrators lay sprawled around Tiananmen Square, which had now been occupied for 7 weeks. The student demonstrators had been remarkably well organized. It was the government that seemed in disarray. For a few more hours, the symbols of the government, the army, and the students coexisted in relative harmony. That night, it would come to an end.
It was just madness. Everyone just ran with almost exuberation, enthusiasm that people with their bare hands had stopped the tank. What happened next was very ugly, and I would have to stress this, to the best of my knowledge, this was not done with the approval or with the participation of any students, but the tank was surrounded, smashed with iron poles, the little glass windows in it were broken in, and then clothing and matting and stuff were thrown on the top, and kerosene and Molotov cocktails were thrown on. And what I heard people saying in the crowd is, it's okay, he's not a human being, it's a thing. That driver of the tank is not a person, he deserves to be killed.